Good morning. Welcome to Macro Mornings. I hope you get your cup of coffee going here. And 5 minutes this morning hopefully will increase your productivity today. So we're going to show you today the cut sheet report, which is a fantastic report for corridor guys. You want to generate a report that actually lists out all the information about all the cross sections in the project. You might want to deliver that as a PDF file out to a supervisor or foreman on a job site so that he has all the information at his fingertips while he's working the site. Or you might just want to run this report as a QA or a QA test on information that you've created to compare it against with plans, for instance. So the corridor cut sheet is part of the RPS Modeling Toolbox. It can be found on the modeling menu, and it's right here in the report section. It's called Corridor Cut Sheet, and it's probably one of the nicest reports that we have in Trimble Business Center today, especially for road guys. So in here you basically can pick the corridor that you want to work with, and in here you can specify if you only want to limit the report to a certain section of the road. You can decide the start and the end stations, and then here you can choose which material layer you want to report on. So I'm going to report here on the finish grade, and then down here you've got these sections of the report generator, and you can decide in here how to fill this out. So the first one is the station locations. So here you can say you want to report, for instance, every 10 feet. You might want to, let's do every 25 for this exercise. We might also want to report the horizontal and vertical alignment points, all template locations, all table locations. In addition, we might want to define some extra stations that are critical. For instance, there might be some check locations a DOT wants you to set out or verify, or there might be some locations where two roads intersect and you want to add extra locations. And to do that, you can just click on this button, and then here you can just type in the stations that you want to check out. So 236.8, for example, and you just say add, and that adds them to a list here. And then each of these stations that you list here is generated as an extra station in the corridor model, but it's also generated as a report location on the output. So you can see there it just added a new station here at 236.8. Okay, so that's the stations. You can also click on here the reverse button, and this basically means instead of reporting it from station 0 upwards, it would report it in this case from station 910 downwards. So it depends on how you want the report to be generated. And then after that, you can then look at things like which nodes you want to report. So these are the list of the nodes that are in the cross section. Unnamed nodes like this one would be either nodes that you created and forgot to give a name, or they could be the ditch line, for instance, where you've got a cut slope and you've got a ditch. The ditches aren't named automatically in TBC unless you're using the slope by depth range, for example. That might be a different situation. So tick all the nodes typically, and then after that you can go into the report layout. And this is more discussing how the report will be generated. So in this case, I'm using the across format, which means the nodes of the cross section will be listed across the sheet, and the values that I want to report will be listed as rows beneath those. You can do the down method, and the down method would basically reverse that. So the nodes would be down the sheet, and the information about each node would be across the sheet. So I'm going to show you both methods here. Row wrapping basically happens when you have more nodes in the cross section than you have columns available on a sheet. So you can type in here the number of columns that you want, and in here you can specify the number of rows that you want on a sheet. Obviously you want to print this probably in landscape mode, and then you're going to have a limit of about 35 rows per sheet on landscape, but you might need to adjust that depending on the paper size that you're printing to. The font sizes for the headers and the rows, so I'm going to put in 10 for the rows here. And in here then you can change the colors for station headers. If you've got cut and fill information being defined, you can pick the colors for both cut and fill. So this information you set up once, and then after that the last piece of this is the report content. So in here you've got a report summary, and you can define the summary, which is like a header, and you can define using all these fields where you want them in the header to get it laid out as you like it, and you can just pick the fields and then move them from left to right, and you can define how many rows or how many columns to be used to display the this information at the top here, and it will come up in 2 information blocks at the head of the file. Then you can say you want to use a detailed station header. That means you're going to get all the details for each station. You can also add the value headers, and then you can also use notes and blank columns on either side of the table so that you can write notes in the field if you want to. And then down here you can decide which values of these you want to report for each node. And if you do choose cut fill, then you can choose which surface you want to refer to. So in other words, I want to know the cut fill of the finished grade relating to the original ground. And once you've got this set up, you just hit apply. And if you hit apply, it will run the command and then ready itself to run it again. So I can then show you the down method. And so this is the across method. So here you can see for each station, you're getting all of the information about the nodes. You've got the nodes across the top, and you've got all the values listed below. And where you're showing cuts and fills, it's highlighting the cells in red. Where you've got a fill, you're highlighting the cells in blue. The center line is in the middle, and you've got these blank rows, or blank columns rather, left and right here, so you can add notes into the field. Now you can see that for every single station throughout the job. So this is the across method. And so if I close that and just go back to TBC, and then I can go into here and say, let's use the, instead of using the across method, let's do the down method here, and then say apply, and that will run the same report again now. In this case now you've got the down method, so now you've got the center line in the middle here, and now you've got the nodes left and right, and you've got the offset information and the table information going across the headers here. So again, you've got the cuts and fills at the end here. So again, depending on which method you want to define, you have all the options here to create a great looking report that you can then provide to supervisors and foremen. Okay, so that's cut sheet report. It's in the Rockpile Solutions modeling menu and toolbox, and it can be found in the report section under the corridor cut sheet. Great little report, and will save you hours when you're checking off plans or checking off your models against the plans, or giving supervisors cut sheet data for working on site. Okay, thanks very much and have a great day.